Hello.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello.
Jen, where are you?
Just hang on for me a few moments. I'm not good at hosting and doing it this same time, so just bear with me for a moment. Hello, welcome everyone.
Hello.
So epic to see all of you, apparently. All right. What's being suggested here is that this is an unhappening. That's also a happening. Apparently, happening to no one. So this unhappening and happening is simultaneously happening, but it's not really happening. What's being suggested is that there's nothing happening. What seems to be perceived as the happening is just an appearance of this or that, an appearance of duality, appearance of you and me, an appearance of an apparent speaker speaking to an apparent whatever. But there is nothing actually happening. It's just an idea, it's just a perception. When it's seen that this is all perfection, that this is all complete, this is all fullness, and this is all already home, then that appearance and disappearance does not really matter because it's not really happening to anyone. There's no one for it to happen to, and there's nothing to find. There's nothing that has been missing. There's nothing that has been hidden. Nothing is lacking. It's completely free. So this is already free. And since there's nothing to figure out, there's nothing that needs to be known, then what are we doing here? What seems to be happening is there seems to be an idea that I am not free, that I need to get liberated, that I need to know something, that there's some knowing there that I don't know. There's a state there that I'm not in. What's being expressed here is this is actually a knowing. This is the unknowing of everything that seems to be known, including dreams, illusions, You can't know a dream, you can't know an illusion, because nothing happens in a dream or an illusion. What seems to be looked for is already appearing as this. Everything is already this. Nothing is hiding. Nothing and everything is simultaneously appearing as this. It's a big mystery and no one knows. There's no knower here to know anything. Actually, there's never been any knower. Any knowing, any wisdom seems to be appearing as something that it's not. It's just an appearance. And in this appearance, what seems to be happening is nothing. So I'm going to go back to what I was saying. Nothing is happening. Unhappening, happening, apparently happening at the same time, that seems to be happening to me, is really not happening. Like in a nighttime dream, there's no difference between a nighttime dream and this. There's no separation. What seems to happen in a nighttime dream is unreal. In the nighttime dream, there's no past, there's no future, there's no separation, and there's no me. And this is just a story. The moment that someone wakes up from a nighttime dream, everything that seemed to happen in that dream is unreal, didn't really happen. So when it's being suggested that nothing happens, it's like a nighttime dream. And this is just a story. This can never arrive. This can never be known because there's no knower. There's no one. So this is nothing communicating to nothing. This is emptiness staring at emptiness. Seemingly, there seems to be an appearance, but it's just an appearance. And what appears to be this is just what is. All that there is this, and there's nothing outside of this. I think that's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. If you have any questions, please raise your hand. You can raise your hand in the raise hand function. Oh, hi, Kim. Oh, I can't hear you, Kim. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi. Hello. Hi. I think that when you say there's nothing, but the body still functions as normally. Well, there's some intelligence that knows what to do automatically. So it's almost as though we're on automatic pilot, because the body knows how to breathe, blood circulation around the system. And so there has to be some sort of knowing from an intelligence. And is that God? Is that what you're talking about? Is that God that knows? Because I mean, whether or not, we know, when you're saying that there's nothing, I know what you mean when you say there's nothing, because I've had that nothingness going in and there's nothing. But even so, life still went on and my body still seemed to function without me doing absolutely anything, because my hair grew, my nails grew, if I cut my hand. So there has to be some sort of infinitive intelligence beyond everything, which I find is absolutely amazing, that knows what to do. And the biggest one for me was going to sleep at night and trusting that I was going to breathe on my own. Now, isn't that amazing? Yeah, because you're not scared to go to sleep. Well, I'm not. You just sleep. Everything just happens, doesn't it? So when we say, it's just happening. So to me, when we say non-duality, I feel like that is a non-part of me that is automatically knows what to do, that infinitive intelligence beyond this this really mind that seems to suffer.
Yeah, there's no really kind of like source or intelligence.
No,
it's not coming from a source. It's not coming from a creator. or intelligence or a being or a knowing. It's just happening. As I said, it's
Happening,
just
yeah.
an happening and a happening, apparently happening at the same time. Life is just happening on its own with no controller, with no source.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of like what you said. Yeah, it's this is just such a fascinating
It's
um,
so
unknowing.
fascinating.
It's an
Mm,
unraveling. It's so there's nothing really being known here. This is actually a
yes.
loss.
A loss of everything that we thought we knew. Yes. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
sharing.
so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bertrand, please go ahead.
Hi, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. Yeah. So um, it's very odd. Each time I come up to ask something, questions automatically sort of disappear. Uh, um, but what's been going on? What's what's been going on is like so I think a few months ago I bumped into a video of Jin,
Okay.
and then I was like, okay, what's this? So I kept listening. And then there was one point where I was so done with looking for this. And then I realized I didn't even know what this is. I didn't know what I was looking for. Um, but then I kept asking myself, what is this? But each time I ask myself that question, it's like a wow, but also a oh no at the same time. It's like wow, but also there's this also feeling of like terror there as well.
Yeah, because
Um, and
sorry, go ahead.
yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead,
And it's
Bertrand.
been like I think for 2 months now, it's been going back and forth between like there's an openness to this message, and then there's sometimes where it's like I don't want to hear this at all. It's just very odd. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, seemingly what seems to be appearing is that there is a looking for something, and that looking for something is its own absence. So what the me is looking for is its own absence. In its own absence, then there's liberation,
Yeah,
there's freedom, there's whatever it is that seems to be appearing in its own absence. But there's also a fearing of that, of its own absence. It's also afraid of its own absence. So there seems to be an openness and a contraction appearing at the same time, seemingly kind of like sometimes going back and forth. There seems to be an openness to this and a contraction, and an openness and a contraction. It's like a carousel of the me. The me goes to this duality, right? It's kind of like appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing, knowing and knowing, contracting, opening, meing, being, whatever it is. It's like it's a dualistic dream. So in the dream of the dualism, this feels real. For this to be feel real, there has to be a this or that. So when it's seen that what it's looking for actually is the absence of that, the seeing that that doesn't actually exist, it can get quite scary.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's yeah. Sometimes it's very uncomfortable as well. Like I think I, I was watching your video before this meeting, and then
oh no.
it felt so yeah, it felt so uncomfortable. It was like something is yeah, it's a bit of a nauseous feeling
I've heard
almost.
that. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, but sometimes it's there, sometimes not. And also, uh, it's like the me is trying to throw all its knowledge at this message, trying to,
Yeah,
and then it gets so frustrated that it can't do that. It's like all this knowledge is useless.
it is.
It can't do anything with it. It's like I know it, but what? It's like so what?
Yeah, this is actually really useless and it's really pointless. But what seems to be the attraction is that resonance that it sees its own absence, it sees its own nothingness or emptiness. But the nauseous feeling is because there's this contracting and openness. There's a resonance, and then there's like the knowing. There's this trying to understand something that cannot be understood, trying to figure
Yeah.
out something that's the great mystery, trying to capture something that cannot be captured. So it is nauseating. It can be quite confusing and dizzying because there's this
Yeah.
trying to catch an air with a butterfly net. It can't. So what's already appearing is everything. Or it's
And
like
sometimes it's just so funny as well.
it's just really funny. It's just really funny. I laugh all the time at this communication because there's nothing serious. There's nothing
Yeah.
serious. This is just really nothing. Trying to figure this out or trying to know it is like trying to light a fire with smoke. Can't.
It's like trying to do anything. It's also like trying to do anything will never work.
No, never,
Almost.
never. It will never, ever, ever work because it's like being in a dream. I'm trying to make an analogy. You're kind of like having a nighttime dream. In the nighttime dream, does a character have any control?
Well, yeah.
No, not really. Can you really
Not
control the
really.
dream? Yeah,
No, not exactly.
yeah. Is there really something happening there? It's just a suggestion, but it's just an illumination of something that is appearing and also disappearing at the same time.
It's like the answer that comes up naturally is like a yes but no. Yes and
Yes,
no.
yes, because this is duality that seems to be appearing in the dream. So the dream is
Oh,
about duality, and the dream is that I am real. So if I am real, then I must be experiencing this. I must be experiencing this through time and space. There must be a me. But what's being expressed here
yeah.
that there's never really been any you, just like a dream, just like an illusion.
So it's really funny, but also not at the same time. But
No,
okay.
no. This is one of those kind of like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh no, but
no.
yes, but no.
Yes, no. It's like insanity, the
Yeah, yeah,
insanity. It's
yeah.
nothing's
Uh,
happening, but something's happening. There's nothing happening, but there's an appearance of something happening. There's this, there's
yeah,
this, there's what's being suggested here. There's no soul separation, but I'm seeing separation. But what's seen here, there's no separation. There's no one there. There's no one here. This is just an appearance. This is a singular appearance. This is a whole appearance. So there's nothing really here, and there's nothing really there. There's no here and there. It's just
okay.
apparent.
It's
It's just an appearance.
yeah, it's very odd. It's there's resonance, but there isn't resonance. But okay, there's no me to do anything about it, apparently. Okay, thank you.
All right. Ghislaine.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi, Ghislaine. How are you doing?
I'm fine. It is also stunning with this message is that nothing has any meaning at the end. Everything that we learned, I don't know, mankind history doesn't mean anything. There's nothing really. You are left with empty-ended, is the way we see it, and so it's freeing, but it's like a revolution. Also, this is the word that comes to me all the time because, well, you're part of nothing also, and everything part of everything, but nothing in the usually people, politics doesn't mean anything. Nothing mean anything. Individual life doesn't mean anything. There's no one there. There's only unconditional life appearing as everything. So it's it's joyful, but it's wow, okay, there's nobody else either. So my gosh, it's tabula rasa, you know,
Yeah.
nothing left to grab, to take, to
Yeah.
bring with so you may die apparently or not, doesn't mean anything also.
No.
So it's a message that it can only be shared with other crazy people like us.
But actually, there's no one there to share it with because there's no others,
yeah,
right?
I know. So it's an impossibility. It's marvelous at the same time. It's beautiful, and it's also violent in a certain way, depending on where you. Even if there is nobody, some people think they are someone, though. You everything happens in. Oh my God! It destroys everything. It's like a nuclear bomb.
It is. It is the end of hope. It is the end of
Yeah,
um
I don't care.
wishful thinking. The
I
end
don't
of
care.
yeah. It's
It's
like
exquisite at the
it's
same
the
time.
it's the apocalypse and also the Big Bang happening at the same time.
Yeah.
It's the end and the beginning.
Yes.
It's everything and nothing appearing
Yeah.
as
It's
something, whatever you can think of with. But
yeah.
yeah, it's the destruction of that belief system that there is someone, there is something, and there's somewhere.
Yeah.
It's the annihilation of hopes and dreams of something better than this. But
Yeah.
what freedom is it? When hope disappears, when everything, all the belief system is seen as a narrative, the believer and the belief is seen as a narrative, as unreal. And what freedom it is then? It's amazing. It's unconditional freedom because there's
Yeah.
no one to put any conditions to this freedom. This
Yeah.
freedom is already here.
And
So
even if oppression it's like oppression to do something because you have to do something apparently is
yeah,
done, is not even somebody that does that. It's energy that pushing, the system. I don't know.
it's just all energy. It's just this
Yeah.
this this singular energy
Yeah.
that appears as whatever.
I'm in love with this. If it doesn't mean anything, probably, but I
It
can't.
doesn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't mean anything.
No,
Again, I keep on using this analogy, kind of like when you're dreaming at night. When you wake up, does
no.
there anything really mean? No, but no one really wakes up because no one went to sleep. That's just an analogy. It's just a
And
story.
sometimes, if you have remembered, I'm not kind of remembering a lot of my dream, but sometimes it's very like it's very violent in the dream, and it seems like it's natural while it's going on in the dream, it doesn't seem to be unreal, but in the other state we would not accept a kind of dream like this. And so it's a good analogy, I guess. So trees and I don't know, dogs they don't even think about their life, I guess.
No one, not a single one thinks.
No.
No one is thinking.
Yeah.
This is just
What is the
appearing.
mind? It's an illusion produced
Yeah,
by
there's also no mind.
no
There's no
mind.
mind. Where is the mind?
I can't tell you.
No.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know who's talking right now. But wow.
Wow, there we go. Wow, it's just wow. It's just
Nothing else
unconditional
to
wow.
say. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Emerson.
Oh, you're welcome, Ghislaine. I have a question here from Dario. Dario, do you want to ask this question? Or do you want me to read it? Dario asks, Emerson, do you want to say that I am not real? What seems to be appearing is the unreal, and real appearing as Dario, which is not really real, which is just illusory. There's an idea, there's a feeling that there is an apparent Dario, but there's no Dario. There's never been anyone here. All of these are just dream stuff. Ideas about ideas. Ideas having an idea, and it's not really happening. Leanne, do you want to ask this question? I'll read it. When feeling is so intense, example, vulnerability, is felt, it's challenging to see that as nothing. It can be said vulnerability is now nothing, is appearing, but that's not the experience. Could you please share about this? What seems to be appearing is, again, this is the illusion that it seemingly feels real, that it's happening to someone, that it's happening to a person in time and space. And in that appearance, vulnerability appears. Anxiety appears, and everything seems to appear. But in the dream, since there's an apparent time and space appearing in a dream, appearing as an illusion, whatever happens in illusion, I use this example all the time. Even if in the dream, if the body is trapped in a building that's on fire, the body is not going to say, nothing is happening, there's no one here. Surely it will burn. It will call the ambulance and get out of the building. So vulnerability is a happening that's a felt sense of reality. So there's this felt sense that I am here. So vulnerability also appears. There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just an appearance. But in the appearance, if there's a vulnerability or anxiety happening, then the person might want to take whatever they need to make the body feel better. Question here. Justin mentioned, you mentioned in your other video that you see dead people. Can you further explain who's seeing the dead people? There are no dead people. It's just basically an analogy saying that nothing is seeing nothing. It's just a story. I can also say that there's a dead person here seeing dead people over there. It's really nothing. So it's nothing seeing nothing, emptiness seeing emptiness. What seems to appear is people think that they think that they're real. They think that what's happening is absolutely happening to them. When it's just life happening as a happening. Life is just happening without a... Kim goes, is this a seance? There's no such thing as well. Just a second, I'm just going to get some questions from... There's some questions here, I think, from YouTube. It's actually really hard hosting. I just realized that. There's a question here. Can you talk about chakras and opening your Kundalini energy? You know what? When I was a spiritual teacher, I used to teach that. But that's just seen as a dream. Chakras is just another story. Kundalini awakening is just a story. Awakening is just a story because it doesn't happen. Who's the Kundalini going to happen to? Who's the awakening going to happen to? An awakening seems to imply that there's duality. What's being expressed here is just this radical expression that there's no separation. So no one awakens. No one has to fix their chakras because there's just no one. There's no one that needs to... And there's nothing wrong or right about anything of that because it's just appearing. It's just an appearance. Oh, can you talk about past lives? What seems to be appearing is just an idea. There's nothing outside of this. This is just all that there is. All that there is this, and there's nothing outside of this. Any ideas about past lives or reincarnation is just an idea that something happened in the past. This is also timelessness. There's an idea that there's time, that something happened in the past, that something can happen in the future. Nothing happens. This is just an appearance. Bertrand, please go ahead.
Almost forgot. There seems to be this it's like a desire arising to do, let's say, painting or dancing or acting, but it also seems that these things arise because it I don't know if maybe the characters thinks that it will reach freedom by doing these things, or some sort of fulfillment.
Yeah, everything that's arising is also it. So this is inclusive of everything. So the idea that dancing or whatever is also it. There's nothing wrong or right about that, but it's just an idea. It's just a thought. It's the unreal and the real apparently happening at the same time, with no purpose or meaning. So even if it seems like there's a purpose to anything, that seems just to be what's happening, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just an appearance. So if dance away, sing away, you have no choice anyway. Paint away. There's no one choosing
no
to do
choice.
that anyway. Yeah, who's choosing? No one.
I don't know.
I
But
DJ. I still DJ, and I enjoy doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's the. Sorry, I'm on the tram at the moment.
No worries.
There seems to be this belief or there's just some sort of feeling. It's like it questions, why do I have to do this to be free?
Because that's the dream, that I have to do this to be free. But what's already being looked for, what's already trying to be achieved, is already free. It's already free. It includes everything. See, freedom seems to be conditional when the me arises and says that, well, to have freedom, then I have to do dancing and to get there. There's no hierarchy in illusions and dreams. All of this is just an illusion appearing as a perfect illusion that I am real, that if I go dancing and painting, I will achieve liberation. That's appearing in unconditional freedom. So what seems to be, and that's also, there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's appearing. But there's this obviousness that this is already completely free. There's really nothing missing.
Is it something like there's absolutely no rules?
What are rules? Just ideas and thoughts.
Yeah. So
What's being discussed here is anarchy. This is anarchy.
Is it like what's being pointed to is like what's happening without the mental commentary of this has to
Even
be
with the
this
mental
way?
commentary happening, that's also what's happening. That's also what's complete and full. It's not about losing the mental commentary, because that's just what's happening. There's nothing wrong or right about that. But there's this belief that the mental commentary is real, that it's actually happening.
Oh, okay.
There's this
So it's
belief.
like,
Yeah, so there's
so
this
it's
there's
like,
this it's kind of like, when in the dream, I'm using the dream analogy again. When someone
yeah, no
dies,
problem.
you're crying,
Yeah.
and then you wake up and you
Okay.
realize that no one died. So it's the unreal appearing as real, but it's not really real.
Okay. Once again,
Yeah.
I sort of get it, but I don't. But
There's no
nothing
one
I
to
can
get
do.
it. There's nothing to get anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Emerson.
Keep it coming back, Bertrand.
Coming back to hear about nothing. Okay.
You will get nothing
right.
anyway.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
Petra,
Hi, Emerson.
how
Good
are
to
you
see
doing?
you.
Good to see you.
Mm. Yeah, it's totally clear. It can't be any other than, or there is what's apparently happening. But nevertheless, what's appearing?
I was like thinking she's gonna stop here now and she's going to be like, wow. But go ahead, sorry, Petra.
Appearing as,
Appearing
yeah,
as, yeah.
appearing as a person, yes. Mm, as the person with this in loveness with the in loveness, the person is gone. But can you say again how it reinforces the me when this thing between the in
Yeah.
loveness and yeah.
Seemingly in an apparent, Petra talked to me before. Seemingly in an apparent relationship, but there's a significant other. When the specialness is seen, the separation is seen. There's no one choosing this anyway. This is just what's happening. There's no one that can choose to, to feel special or not special or whatever. It's just an appearance. But in this story, when there's a specialness in treating someone as if this is the significant, this will bring my happiness, this is, I'm in love, all this kind of stuff, then there's conditions in this unconditional love. Then love becomes conditional when it becomes a relationship, when it's seen that there's two. But there's no one choosing it, it's just what's on appearance. But when it's seen in its fullness, that everything is happening for no apparent reason, with no meaning or purpose, it's just a play of in loveness and unconditionally. So even the separation is actually unconditional love.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's where I'm lost. Yeah, because it was so perfect, and then I guess there's something like PTSD or which kicked this kicked me somehow out of something, and I just had this cramped body again. So, which is also perfect, yes, but I don't feel, doesn't feel like it is. Yeah, yeah.
In this unconditionality, everything appears,
the
including,
condition in the unconditional.
yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk again later.
Thank you.
There's a lot of questions here. Please talk some more about the great mystery. So yeah, the great mystery is completely unknown. It can never be known. The great mystery is that this is the unreal, appearing as real, simultaneously, without any gaps, without any separation. And it's just an appearance. And it's a great mystery, it's a great paradox. Because how can the unreal and the real appearing as singularity or wholeness or completeness? It's a great mystery and it's the great unknown. So this is not about knowing the great mystery because it can never be known. This is an unraveling of the knowing. This is the unfolding of beliefs. This is the loss of the one that wants to find the truth, because there's no such thing as a truth. A truth is just an idea. This doesn't have a source. This doesn't have any direction. This is just unconditional love and anarchy and peacefulness appearing at the same time. Question here: what is the relationship between a particular body, say Emerson's apparent body, and what is happening, versus what is happening and another apparent particular body? In other words, what is seen. Can you clarify that, Chris? Seen cease to bear a relationship to particular bodies. what seems to be appearing, I guess this is an appearance of duality. This is an appearance of separation. This is an appearance of a body here, a body there, you and me, a we, an us, and them. But there's no such thing. These are just words trying to describe something that cannot be separated. So this is appearing as full, as fullness, and also appearing as separation as a body. So there's no relationship really that's happening. There's no time. There's no space. There's no body. There's no one here, apparently. It seems like it's an appearance of something happening, but as soon as it happens, it's also an unhappening. So it's a happening and an unhappening simultaneously appearing as this. William.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello.
Yeah, I spoke to you yesterday on the phone, and obviously I was saying that this message can be really, really confronting.
Yeah.
So the ideal situation for the person is just to carry on seeking, and for it seeking to work out and get what it wants and become happy.
Repeat that again, sorry.
What I mean is, so like, the person doesn't want what's being suggested here in as far as its own absence. It wants to keep seeking and getting everything it wants and becoming happy.
Because that's what is. That's what seems to be happening. It's just a seeking happening until it doesn't. There seems to be a seeking for a, there's no one choosing to do any of this. So if seeking is happening, seeking is just happening. Seeking for happiness is happening, seeking for happiness is happening. But what's being expressed here is that nothing is hidden. This is already what's being looked for. It's looking for its own absence. It's looking for its own demise. It's looking for its peacefulness. It's looking for that stillness. It's looking for the loss of problem. It's looking for the loss of me. But what's being expressed here, that it's already looking at its own absence. Because there's no one here and there's no one there. It's just an appearance. The appearance, disappearing. The unhappening, happening simultaneously for no one. The moment it appears, it disappears. And this is already liberation. This is already unconditional freedom.
So when the whole construct of the person fell away there's no longer any searching for something else.
There's no one that fell away here because there's never been anyone. Let me just clarify that. So in the apparent story, when there's the apparent seeking ended, it's because it's seen that what it's looking for is actually already. So it's looking for its own absence, and it sees its own absence already. So what's there to look for? There's already no one here. There's never been anyone here. So it's looking for its own liberation, meaning its demise, its death. The death of people will call it death of the ego or whatever. But what is being expressed here is that what is being longed for, what is being sought for, is appearing in everything. But everything seems to be something. But what's being suggested here is there's nothing appearing as everything simultaneously, empty fullness. This is emptiness already. This is already emptiness. And this is already fullness. And there's nothing lacking. The idea that there's something to look for, something that can be found, is exposed as illusory. So the seeking is just happening for no reason, and it's not happening to anyone. No one has any choice. But really, there's no seeking and there's no finding because everything is already free. Everything is freedom already. It seems to be conditional when the idea that I am here, that I need to achieve that freedom, then it fractures that freedom into a narrative. It can't possibly do something that it can't do because it's not there. There's no volume to do anything. It's just an appearance. It's already liberated. It's already free.
I don't feel free at all. I feel bound by need. I feel imprisoned by need to get things. Anything other than this, it does feel like just a constant restriction, constantly looking for something else.
And that's also unconditional freedom. That's also appearing as unconditional freedom. Anything is allowed. Everything is free. The word free is free. It's not something else. Freedom is freedom. It's not for someone else. When it's freedom, everything is allowed, including not to feel free, because it's unconditional. But when it's seen that it's just an appearance, then total freedom or complete freedom or unconditional freedom is seen, and it's a big wow. Oh wow, this is already free. Wow, nothing is missing here, including my idea that there's something missing is also complete.
This is difficult to listen to, but I like the fact that you're not giving us hope and you're not inventing a story about
who am I going to give hope to?
Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there who are offering hope.
There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's happening.
Fair enough. Thanks, Emerson.
Natalie, did you want to ask this question yourself, or do you want me to read it? I'll read it. Is it fair to say that nothing can ever be known, as who would know it? Even his computer screen card, this message, black holes, my dog, all a great mystery. Yeah. This can never be known, because all that you've said and everything that's coming out here is just words. Words are really meaningless. Words are not really pointing to anything. It's trying to illuminate something that's already bright and clear and free. So yeah, all of these words are just words expressing what cannot be separated. So words are seemingly separate things, but they're not really two. They're just words. I can bark here if you like, but it will be the same. Bertrand.
Yeah, so if there are other questions on YouTube, you can, yeah, but
I'm sorry to people that are watching the YouTube. I had no idea how hard it is to do a live stream with a Zoom meeting, so I'll answer your questions later. But go ahead, Bertrand.
Sorry, YouTube guys. So it's, I don't know. It's like whenever someone whenever I hear like this is all there is, or like this is it, like I look around and it's like, like almost, it's.
So what's missing then?
It's like,
I don't know what's missing.
Like, I don't know either. But I look around, it's like, wow.
There's an idea that there's something missing, but when you really, no one really sees. When the seeing really is seen, that nothing is lacking, this is really it. And there's nothing outside of this. How can there be something outside of this? Except in fantasy and idea and illusions, but there's nothing outside of this.
It's so odd, but it's also like when I try to, I don't know, it doesn't really work because you would tell me that there's no one to see it anyway.
There's no one behind those eyes, so it's complete already. It's complete already. It's full. It's complete. This is total, unconditional freedom. Blinders some people see through blinders, and when this is seen, the blinders are off, and it's just seen like, oh, okay. It's seen that nothing is happening, and there's nothing outside of this. Ha!
Yeah. It's like and then the mind comes up with some mental concepts, but then they sort of make sense, but they still can't.
Yeah, they're
It's
just
like
concepts. They're just
they all
concepts. They're
fall
just
short.
ideas.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh well. Thank you, Emerson.
You're welcome.
All right, bye.
Bye. Marina. Hello, Marina.
Hi, Emerson.
How are you?
Hi, everyone. Oh, I'm doing, I mean, it's back and forth, I guess. And I just want to express my deepest gratitude because I just feel so blessed, first of all. I feel very humbled and so relieved because, well, you know what I've been through, and it has been like going down to hell and back. This awakening, this apparent awakening has been totally mind-blowing. And I guess today was very emotional again. And it's just the seeing of it all, the seeing, it's just so stunning. And just like I've been telling you, Emerson, that it's almost like it's deepening. And all through December and all through January now, it's just, I mean, no words can express how beautiful everything is. But at the same time, there's a lot of grieving. There's a lot of still, I guess, fear in some kind of way. But still, the contraction is totally gone. It's gone. And I can see myself having no filters left. I can get so
blinders off.
Yes. And I can get so emotional, and I could cry, you know, just looking at a tree, because it's just so incredible that, yes, I'm dreaming, right?
Yes.
So my deepest gratitude to you, Emerson. First of all, I could just cry because I love you so much. And for Tony and Kenneth, because this has just been totally incredible, actually. And today was, just like I said, a day of just a lot of tears, because it's, at the same time, I can feel some kind of loneliness in this, because no one understands, not even myself, right? Because there is no me. And who do you talk to? I talk to my dog a lot.
Me too.
Yes. But I'm just so humbled and grateful, and I will talk to you more. And I guess, yes, and everyone is, I guess, laughing a lot, but so I haven't been able to come on a Zoom meeting. So this is actually my first Zoom meeting ever. So I feel humbled, and thank you for inviting me, Emerson.
Oh,
and
thank you. Thank you, Marina. Stunning, isn't it?
Thank you.
Stunning.
Yes,
Stunning.
it is.
Obvious.
Yes, it's so obvious. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Love you.
I love you too.
Question here. Unconditional love is intoxicating. It knocks you off your non-dual feet. Thank you, Kim, for that. Leanne has a question here. She is asking, did you want to ask a question yourself, Leanne, or do you want me to read it? I think I'll read it. So overwhelming. Fear is empty freedom simultaneously. The idea of a me habitually believes its own whatever arises. Yeah. It's this feeling of suffering and liberation seemingly appearing in a time that is happening So when there is when this appearance of apparent suffering and liberation is appearing in time, then it becomes a dualistic idea that I am meing, I am being, I am freeing, I am bonded. Um, and it seems that there is this experiencer experiencing liberation and separation, liberation or suffering. There's an openness, there's a contraction, an openness, contraction. There's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's happening. It's the dualistic dream of I am real. And then there's also this unknowing or this resonance that nothing is real, that nothing is happening. And this is being communicated to no one. There's never been anyone here. There's never been anyone there. It's the obviousness of this. This is not a knowing. I have no idea about anything. When Emerson's dog discusses this shit with him, is it about? Oh, I have a beautiful dog that's 16 years old, and beautiful, beautiful. Question here: are you going to be doing more of these meetings? Yes, apparently I don't really have any choice. You know, this character is a bit of an introvert and prefers not to do public stuff and likes just doing stuff behind the internet. Loves being a host, but yeah, apparently there's this overflowing passion communicating about something that cannot be expressed fully, but only expressed in its passion. Ali, please go ahead. You're
Yeah. Hi, Emerson.
Hi, Ali. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Talking about not knowing the here, there's a like a sense that what happens or this is it. But how, if it's not known, how can it, how, well, I know there's a resonance, but I have a confusion about this. You know, it seems that it seems that I've always been searching for something, but at the same time, like knowing this is already. But how can that be if it's unknown?
So there seems to be an idea that I can get this, that I will know this, that I will figure this out, and there's nothing wrong or right about that. It's just what's arising. So they're trying to figure out, and also, as I said, appearing as I can never figure this out. It's almost like schizophrenic, right? It's almost like insanity. There's something that needs to be figured out. There's something that I can't figure out. There's something that I need to figure out. There's something. It's just an arising. As I said earlier, what seems to be appearing is also disappearing simultaneously. So none of that is real. It's just an appearance. It's just ideas. It's just thoughts that's appearing. It's like phantom bubbles that just boop, just pops. So all of these appearances, all of these ideas of something to get, something that I can't get, it's just ideas because there's nothing to figure out. This is already seen. This is already seen, but by no one.
This is already seen.
That this is already complete, that there's nothing lacking, that there's nothing missing. There's already a seeing here, but not independent seeing. There's no one seeing behind those eyes. There's no eyes. It's just a seeing. So the seeing is already completely full and complete. There's nothing lacking in this seeing. There's no seer, and there's no seen. So there's an idea that there's a seer and a seen and a seeing. They're all the same. The seen and the seer are the same. Complete. So there's nothing to look for. So what you're looking for is already appearing.
Yes.
In everything.
Yes.
There's freedom in everything. Everything is already liberated. There's no conditions to anything. There seems to be conditional ideas about things, but actually all of this is unconditional freedom. You can say that this is already home. You've never left, but you never arrived. This is just home.
So it's impossible for the me to have like this like sensation of knowing something. It's just an illusion. This is that illusion. Okay.
Yeah,
God.
it's just a perfect illusion of something that's appearing for real. It's actually not happening.
God. The illusion, or this is very so strong.
That's why it's a perfect illusion. The illusion is can't figure out that it's an illusion because that's the illusion. You can't get out of that.
Oh, God.
What a relief.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Emerson. That was a good one.
I think it's Jason. Jason.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi, Jason.
Hi. Listening to this, it's like I feel like I've been blind my whole life and someone is describing colors or something. It's like, oh, look over there. Look at that tree. Isn't it a beautiful green? But I'm like, what? It's like unconditional love. It's like, what? Where? What? Oh, it's right there. But it's just like being blind or something. It's like, there's those moments, whatever. But man. And I feel like I kind of know your answers already, which is like, there's no you. Like, I have this thing coming up lately about the loss of control, right? It's like there's some anxiety there that the traumatized inner child is going to take over and I'm going to be like screaming and crying and all this stuff, right? Which doesn't happen, but it could theoretically. Yeah. And you're going to say, oh, there's no one in control. There's never been a you in control. There's never been control. La, 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 la. It's like, I know all the words, but I feel so blind, at times.
Yeah, it's actually not about the knowing of the words. It's the unknowing.
Yeah.
Because no one knows. So this is just a knowing. It appears as a knowing. Again, I'm going to repeat what I've been saying in the beginning. It's the knowing and the unknowing simultaneously happening. The me appearing and disappearing, the real and the unreal simultaneously appearing, the great paradox. So all of this is just a happening, but with no one there. So no one has any control. It's just what's arising. And it's beautiful and stunning already.
And what's arising is a fear of loss and control. And I'm completely free to experience. That's
Isn't
complete
that
freedom for that to arise, right?
The loss of control, isn't that freedom?
Oh my gosh, it sucks though. It's like, oh, I'm free to be oppressed. Oppression is free to occur. Oh, suffering is free to, I feel like I'm living in hell. It's free to occur. Oh,
all of these are just words and trying to describe that is actually just unknowable. So you're trying to know freedom is putting conditions on it, putting labels on it, this and that. And there's no one choosing, so it's just what's happening. There's nothing wrong or right about that, but it's just putting conditions, taking a chip of freedom and hoping that you can cash it in. There's no you to cash it in. So all of this arising of fear, it's just fear of the unknown, fear of its own demise, free falling, the fear of free falling, the fear of not knowing, the fear of control, lack of control. When actually what's really looking back at it is saying that there was really no one there to do any of that. So what are you fearful for? Fear of nothing.
I have nothing. I am nothing. There is nothing. Yeah, I know. And I need to let go of that. Whatever. No, don't say that either because there's no need. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Bye.
Message me sometime. Steve.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi, Steve. How are you doing?
Great. Thanks again for doing these.
Thank you.
It occurred to me that the way we make sure that things are happening, we have these systems in place. Now we could watch a movie, and if we turn the volume down or if something changes, we can go, oh, well, what's real is really, sitting in my chair and looking out at the screen. And the movie's the thing that's not real.
Mm.
But I took my car in to be repaired for maintenance.
Yeah.
And something unusual happened. Usually they give you a list of things that have been repaired. And you look at the list and you go, oh, now I know it's been repaired because I see these check marks.
Yeah.
Somebody signed it. But instead they sent me a video with someone talking. They showed the license plate of my car, and then they showed the engine, and they said, we put brake fluid in, we checked the battery, we checked this. Now, I have no possible way of knowing just because they sent me this video that any of that was done. But I felt more assured. I had a feeling. A feeling arose, oh, so it is real. They really did this. Oh, well. One other thought that comes up.
Yeah. So again, this feels real. This is actually both real and unreal, appearing as this. So you can't really even say it's unreal because it's also real. But both of them are happening and unhappening. So what seems real is being perceived by also what seems real. So everything seems real that's happening. But when it's seen that what's perceived as real is also unreal, appearing simultaneously with the real, then everything that's seen is just a happening. And it's happening to no one.
Okay.
So all that you said is just an idea about something that has been done or not done. Everything is actually done and not done. It's just simultaneously appearing. And we have no words for that. It's just this. It's this completeness. I don't know if I answered your question, actually.
It wasn't so much a question as an observation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
But I appreciate you speaking about it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Steve.
Right.
Thank you so much. Kim. Oh, I love your screen. That looks cool. I can't hear you.
Thank you. Hi. Yeah, thank you, Emerson, for giving me a chance to speak. Mine is, again, about an observation. I'm listening to what you're saying. And again, it's the subject-object. We know there isn't a subject and an object, but this is the whole dilemma of the me, isn't it, and the I. It's the subject me and this subject object over there, and then that's when the thoughts, feelings, emotions come in, you know what I mean? And then you're going off into a trail in that moment. I recognize most of the time I go in, I don't go in, but sometimes, or depending on the how, what's going on in the day, or something bad's happened, then I'm going to believe it. And I go into it, and you're going into the movie, and I'm an actor, this is going to happen, but actually nothing's going to happen. But most of the time now I bring myself out. So as you're speaking, it's sort of like the subject object ping pong ball.
That's the illusion that there's a
game.
subject and object.
Yeah, it's a game, isn't it?
It's like a play. It's like a play.
Yeah,
right?
it's like a play. Exactly. Yeah. I can see that. So
yeah, it's like wholeness playing separation.
Yeah.
It's a play. It's an illusion.
It's an illusion. It's not real, is it?
No.
But we we keep getting pulled. Well, I won't say for everybody else. You get pulled in to the dilemma.
It's a perfect illusion, right? Because it's this ping-ponging or this duality is appearing as real. That's what feels real. But when it's seen that it's just a play, a play of light.
It's a play.
It's a play. It's a game. Gaming
It
itself, but no
is.
players. But there's no players.
I know, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
absolutely, it's ridiculous, isn't it? And then, you know, you can just laugh and think, oh my God, I believe that. Here I go again. It's like something sucking you in,
yeah.
you know. I
That's why
mean,
it's a perfect illusion. That's why.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
illusion of
beautiful.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah, bingo. The biggest dilemma happened about 18 months ago. And my daughter died.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to hear that, Kim.
It's okay. And my daughter died. And when the police came round to tell me, I just says I don't know what to do, because they left me on my own. They just walked away, and I thought, you know, what do you do at 5 o'clock in the morning? And I just did not know what to do. And it was as if I felt something vibrating, you know, in the awareness. And it was like, well, are you going to go into this? Because I did. And then something stopped me from going into this, you know, the illusion again. But that was the biggest thing that I ever, you know, had to face in my life. But I saw that as the illusion. And it was almost as though I'd step back into, and I'd spaced, I'd step back, and I was the observer. And that's what got me through you know, the whole thing. That, you know, I could easily have believed everything because it was traumatic. She committed suicide, and I hadn't seen her for years. So there was a lot of stuff that went on. And yeah, I just saw it for what it was, and people were thinking, well, are you okay? You know, you're upset. But I'd gone into space, you know, and it was that not going, those triggers. I felt the triggers in my head, but there was nothing, you know, nothing would connect, you know. But I do feel that when the body or the illusion goes into traumatic experiences in shock, there's a mechanism that actually takes you into that nothingness as well. You know, car crashes and things that I've had have also gone into that nothingness, and I just feel that it's a way of survival to protect us. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing.
That's
that.
okay.
Thank you.
That's
Kim.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
William. Sorry, William.
Hi, Emerson. So I'm desperate for an answer.
There are no answers, William, because answers and questions are the same. Yeah.
But it's awful to think there is nothing that can undo the sense of feeling separate.
Because
and all the consequences.
Because separate is not real, so it can't be undone. Something that's not really happening.
But the consequences are happening, like, well, I don't need to list them, but you know, the dream of needing to get somewhere and what comes with that, like anxiety, depression, whatever else.
Yeah.
There's a ton of consequences to feeling separate, even if the separation isn't real.
Yeah, in the dream, if that's that seeming kind of like, you know, happening of consequences, then in the dream you deal with that. There's nothing wrong or right about with dealing with something. This is not a cure-all. This is not a denial of any of that. This is, I would say, a radical honesty that it's seen that there's nothing happening. At the same time, a happening. And there's no one there.
Even if you treat those kind of things in the conventional way, it still doesn't remove that sort of core sense of unfulfillment, out of which a lot of that seems to stem from.
Yeah, we'll talk later. We'll talk later. You know what? I know what you're saying, but what seems to be appearing is you're trying to look for a liberation, and what's being expressed here that this is already liberation. So everything that arises, when it's not personalized liberation, when it's not a personal freedom, freedom is appearing everywhere as everything. and there's nothing missing. So all of this arising of feeling, freedom even is seeking help for those feelings. That's freedom. Everything is allowed. Nothing is excluded. But we'll talk about that later. Give me a call.
Okay, thanks.
Love you, William. we kind of like went over time. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm probably going to do a next meeting next week. So all that there is this, and there's nothing has ever been missing.